Okay, so this is going to be a quick short video. It's going to be an update on the Harbor Freight Dolly. Okay, so here's the problem. When I'm loading the motorcycle onto the Dolly will move on me. Hey, my battery's going to die. Okay, so let me tell you guys what actually happened. It's a funny story, and how did I come to the conclusion of using a 2x4? So what happened is that one day I was washing the bike. I took the bike out because I was gonna go ride the next day, so I decided to go ahead and give it a wash. I need to go put fuel in it, so I took off. But I left my phone here. I left it on the other workbench. I set the Dolly up right here next to the car. So when I would come in, I would just get back on the Dolly, and I was able to move it and park it back where it was against the wall. Well, what happened is I came back home and I started to get onto the Dolly. Pretend this is the Dolly right here. So I was able to get on the front wheel, and then I started to go ahead. Well, actually, when the front wheel got on, the Dolly moved forward. When it moved forward, the lever that supposedly stops the Dolly from moving, it actually flipped back down. So that means that the wheels were able to move. So can you imagine? I had half a bike on the Dolly. So when I started to try to move back, the whole Dolly would move back. And I'm not talking about it would just move back straight back, but I'm talking about this end right here, where the wheels were free, was moving. Okay, so I couldn't put the back, I couldn't reverse back, I couldn't put the kickstand down, because every time I put the kickstand down, of course, with the bike leaning to the left, that would mean that the Dolly was going to move. So what I started to do is I started to try and see if I could back it up and actually put it, kind of jam it into the tire of a car. I was able to do that, and every time that I would try to put the kickstand down, the Dolly would still somehow move. So I couldn't risk putting the kickstand down, because then that meant that the Dolly was going to move and then the bike would tip over. So here I was in the garage all by myself, and I couldn't exactly call her upstairs because she wasn't going to be able to hear me. I think I was out here for maybe 15 minutes trying to figure out what am I going to do. Finally, I was able to jam the Dolly underneath the tire so that it wouldn't move. And I gently put the kickstand down, and I kind of maneuvered it, and I played with it for a little bit so that it wasn't going to move. I was able to get off the bike nice and slowly, and I grabbed my phone and I came back to the bike. I called her and I told her to come downstairs, and she helped me out after that with a Dolly. So every time after that, I would go ahead and call her, and I would tell her, hey, I would call her and I would ask her to come and help me, so I could load the bike back up. She would be here holding the Dolly, make sure it wouldn't move. I would ride up and park it, and I was good to go. But then I came up with the idea of, let me just go ahead and try and use a 2x4. So I cut this 2x4, and now what I do is I put the 2x4 on the floor, I pin it toward the wall, and I set the Dolly up. I ride on up. It doesn't move on me anymore. I park it. I move the 2x4 and pick everything up, and I'm able to use it now. And that's how I came up with using the 2x4. Yeah, it was pretty scary there for a little bit, because I was out here by myself for like about 15 minutes, and I couldn't figure out what the hell was I gonna do.